This podcast contains adults using adult language. This is your only warning to turn back. Turn back now.
Hello, brownies and bobkins, to Ignore the Bird, Follow the River, a podcast where nerds and creatives talk about Willow the movie in anticipation for the upcoming Disney Plus series. I am Zach, Game Master at Nerdcrafty.com, and today I'm joined by fellow Nerdcrafter and Willow enthusiasts, my co-hosts Adam and Weston. Adam, what's up? How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm nervous. I'm good.
That's all right. That nervous energy always turns into adrenaline and excitement and creativity, I think.
Yeah.
I like it. How about you, Weston?
Oh, it's been a long day, and I am excited to get into this game that I've been, in a way, waiting to play my whole life. I remember playing a tiny little bit of the Willow for the NES. My parents rented it way back in the forever time when TVs and Bedrock were, run by pterodactyls, and so yeah. But that's the only time I've ever got to kind of like role play or immerse myself in that world, other than watching the movie or reading the books. So this is a cool opportunity. I really appreciate Zach for doing the work to get this game to this level of playable. I mean, gosh, it's always a lot of work, but it means a lot, especially because this is a world I would have loved to have been born into generally. Despite all the trials and tribulations,
Save your thanks. Cool. Save your thanks until after the game. We'll see. So tonight I am going to be running a Dungeons and Dragons game for us on our little podcast here. Tonight I am posing a question to my co-hosts and our audience. What if the story of Willow starred different characters? What characters would you create to save Mother World from the machinations of Bavmorda? So this time on Ignore the Bird, Follow the River, our podcast discussions from the last 8 episodes culminate in a one-off adventure that will tell the story of Willow in a different way. What if Willow followed the bird instead of the river? So, Adam and Weston, you've created your level 3 Dungeons and Dragons characters with a few on-the-fly options and caveats that will help you fit into the world of Anduin, and we'll get to them shortly. But first, I wanted to mention there is a fantastic art piece that Weston created to go along with this episode. You can find it and all of Adam's Hero Forge tokens and all of the character sheets I'll be using tonight and magic items from this game on Nerdcrafty.com. If you're new to our podcast, we do character deep dives, what if scenarios, an interview, and just general creative nerdery as we talk about Willow. But tonight, we're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Woohoo!
Yeah. I mean, I should have seen this coming. I talk about it so much during every episode.
It was all building towards this.
Yeah, you think I would have figured it out and started working on this a long time ago. So, I mean, in a way I was, but at any rate, Adam, Weston, I hope you've got your character sheets pulled up.
Oh, yeah.
Hope you got some dice ready to roll digitally or otherwise. because
Mhm.
I'm as ready as I'm going to get, and we're going to play some Willow-themed Dungeons and Dragons.
Heck, sure.
So I want you to close your eyes and imagine an elf runs through the forest quickly, her steps light and quick. Her face has a smear of blood on it already, and her clothes are tattered from rushing through thorn and bramble. The humid air of the dense forest is corrupted with the smell of blood and glass. As she moves with soundless panic, behind her are the barks and howls of hellhounds. As she passes into a clearing, stopping to catch her breath, death dogs with matted hair, ravenous movements, and unholy eyes leap from all sides before a big black cat suddenly appears to defend the elf. The panther takes the brunt of the attacks, shedding blood as the rat-tailed dogs of dread lock their jaws and tear at its hide. The panther responding with its own razor-sharp claws in kind. The death dogs face off against the injured elf and the panther momentarily. The death dogs have the advantage. Suddenly, from the forest comes a booming animal call, a horn blast that shakes the leaves, stirs the wind, and quakes the ground. From the brush, a giant stag with 100 antlers leaps into the clearing, its form bigger than an elephant and shining like a firefly. "Begone, foul creatures! You are an abomination to nature, a curse upon this land, and forever not welcome in the forest of the great Stag King." Yipping their tails between their legs, the demonic beasts flee, leaving the panther, the elf, and the Stag King alone in the meadow. There is a great calm as animals congregate here. Squirrels and badgers, bears and birds, bugs and lizards. Even the yellow glow of flying fairies begin to dance as the sprites celebrate their king and his protection of this forest. "Elf of Glasmere, what brings you through the Nelwyn Valley to my forest?" So, Weston, you can see this great Stag King towering above you as he speaks to your character. What does your character look like? Have her introduce herself and answer the Stag King's question.
Novandra is a wood elf. Her pointed ears are surrounded by a mop of curly asymmetrical hair, and her clothes are simple but designed for stealth. She carries with her a couple of daggers and a bow. The daggers, all of her items are either made with glass or have glass like additions, a little flair here and there. She's yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, that's Novandra.
And does she introduce herself?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I got distracted.
No, you're good.
So yeah. Oh, I should also say she's also really tall. She's like 6'7".
Okay.
235. You know, she's
Wow.
Yeah, she's pretty big. She's a big lady. But she introduces herself. I am Novandra Vivint. Pleasure to meet you. Thank you for your assistance. I don't think I would have made it out of that without you.
Navandra, welcome to my forest. Bow to the king. What brings you here?
If I'm being honest with you, I'm on the run. I was with the Wood Elves in the Nockmar Woods when we were thwarted. I might be the only one left from the battle.
The trolls have decimated your people. You are welcome here. Prophecy and destiny have blossomed in my lands from seeds across all of Mother World and in shadows. What fruit and flowers they bear remains to be seen. He looks down at the Black Panther, a smirk appearing on the regal Stag King's face. Come, friend, reveal yourself to Navandra. So, Adam, as your character reverts from his panther wild shape to his true form, describe what your character looks like and have him introduce himself to Navandra.
My character is 9 3/4 inches tall. He has extremely wild platinum blonde hair, sort of tannish, ruddy-ish skin, one green eye, one purple eye, and he carries a. It looks kind of funny because he's carrying like a scimitar, a staff, a bagpipe, a drinking horn, and he's just he looks a little bit wild and crazy. And his name is Charlemagne Champagne, but you can call him Champ for short. He'll tell you that. He just laughs. Yes, my name is Charlemagne Champagne, but you can call me Champ for short.
Pleasure to meet you.
You as well. You are, if you don't mind my saying, impressive.
As are you.
Oh, thank you. It's just a little old me.
The Brownies are a noble people, and I've always found value in their presence whenever I see them. I know they're not necessarily genuinely or generally considered that way, but the presence of Brownies has always brought me luck.
Well, maybe we will bring good luck to each other.
I hope so.
And as you say this, Navandra, you recall your prophecy being delivered to you, and a small wood totem had been given to you with a little rune symbol, the same symbol that is the birthmark on Alora Dannon, who we'll get to shortly. And you kind of unconsciously bring it out, and as you do, Champ, you recall that you have a very similar totem made of stone bearing the same symbol.
Yes.
And The Stag King kind of sees you both holding your totems, and he kind of like huffs, shakes his head. Fate has a wicked sense of humor. The huntress, Cecil Moonthorn, is hunting trolls in the northern wastes to help what few elves remain there. Archibald Rockgrift hasn't sent word from his station in Shadows for months. We fear the worst. And Timo, the bravest brownie, has yet to return from Death Forest. This Daikini babe, and as he speaks, fairies fly in on a vine basket, almost like a mix between a basket, a baby carrier, and a crib, fly in this Daikini baby and flutter to you two. Charlemagne, Nafandra, look at the rune on this child and know the path that has been set before you.
I sort of scamper up to the basket and like jump up on the side, hold onto the handle and lean over and look at the baby's inside of her forearm and notice the symbol there. Oh, would you look at that? Hey, come check this out.
Well, this is the child of prophecy.
It
The
must
fairies discovered her floating down the river and brought her to me. Now I bring her to you.
You think we're going to be able to take care of a baby?
Somebody does.
A Daikini
And-
babe.
And some of the fairies are like looking around confused. A couple of them motion to their gods. One of them winks at you, champ.
I turn a little redder and and wink back. Well, I guess challenge accepted. What do you think?
If we are to take this baby, I just hope we'll be enough.
Navandra, you were here to deliver prophecy, but prophecy has been delivered to you. Champ, you have always stayed in this forest, and we have always known that your destiny lies elsewhere from whence you came. This is the Princess of Tears Lean, Alora Dannon. The balance of the great mystery depends on her survival. The sorceress, Bavmorda, will stop at nothing to kill this infant. Just as I have protected you and this forest, you must now protect her. It falls to you to see this prophecy fulfilled. I know not, nor care not, for the world of man. You will leave this forest, and search for the daughter of Bavmorda. Prophecy states she will help you.
Very well, my lord. I hop off the basket, get down on one knee, put my hand, my right hand next to my heart, and say, it shall be done.
And as you do, champ, another brownie comes running up, shoves you to the side, and he says, "No, my lord, it must be me. You cannot trust this one." And this is Chump, your old rival, who has made your life just the worst as you've been adopted by the forest here by the great Stag King. And every chance he gets, he's trying to one-up you. He's also a wild-shaping druid, and sometimes he learns how to shape into the next greater animal. Sometimes you learn the next wild shape before him. You guys have just been neck and neck. And he shoves you to the side and he says, "No, this is a job for Chump."
I immediately jump on him and grapple with him.
So you guys are just like grappling on the ground.
Yeah.
He's actually 10 inches tall, so he's always got that quarter inch over you that he likes to throw shade at. And as you guys are grappling for a moment, a hoof smashes the ground next to you from the great Stag King. Chump.
Stop.
Fate has chosen Champ. But if you must, you may travel with them and see that this baby is safe and that your friend, Champ, does his job. And Chump just glares at you, Champ.
Does that mean he is my servant while we go? I am the leader?
Fine.
Stag King's had it. You heard that? He said that
I will not be getting your tea. I will not be searching for your blackroot. I serve the baby.
Okay, as long as you follow my orders.
As long as the baby gives the orders, I follow all the orders.
That is good because I speak baby and I know you don't.
And he kicks the dirt. Talks to his group of posse friends that he has, who are all like, yeah, you get him, Chump. Start clapping him on the back. He picks up his like wishbone staff boomerang that he has. Grabs a couple of his other things.
I go back over to Alora Dannon and say, "Don't worry, he's not so bad. He is just a little rough around the edges, but we make sure I'll take care of you."
And Laura Dannon gives one of her trademark close-ups. That's just like a range of emotions you would never expect from a baby.
All right. Well, if you don't mind my asking, my lord, which way do we need to go?
Ignore the river and follow the bird. No, no, you have something, Navandra.
Oh, judging from what I've picked up in scouting the Nockmar army's positions, I believe that there's to be a battle with the Galadorn Knights. I think we might be able to find Sorsha there.
Now, this is someone that knows how to think straight. I like you. Well, shall we go?
And when you say that, a couple of fairies come flying to you, Navandra, and come flying to you, Champ. And Navandra, they are holding a three glass arrows for you.
Ooh.
Stick.
So these have +3 to the attack roll that you make with them, but you only have 3 of them, and they automatically deal double dice damage like a crit.
Ooh.
Damn. Okay.
Nice.
3 of them.
Yep.
I'm sorry about that camera.
And so they're these kind of, very ornate looking arrows. They have runes that go all the way up them. And right at the arrowhead, they have this, it's like this green transparent glass. It looks kind of like obsidian.
Thank you, fairy creatures. I will use these only when necessary.
And Champ, you see hovering towards you is a wand. Sherlindria's wand, which you actually have a handout for.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bit to it. It's a bit to grok at first. It's not the most straightforward magic item I've created.
Yeah.
So feel free to read it aloud or ask a question.
Yeah, I'll read it aloud, actually. Hold on
Okay.
1 second. Hold on 1 moment. There we go. Sherlindria's wand. This crooked ash wand, despite its simple appearance, is bestowed with powerful magic. Destined for Finrazel by Sherlindria, it is bestowed to Willow, or to Champ, in his quest to bring it to Finrazel. While holding this wand, its attuned wielder gains a +1 bonus to spell attacks and increases its spell save DC by +1. The wand has a number of maximum charges equal to the highest maximum spell slot its caster is capable of casting. For example, a level 1 wizard would have access to 2 maximum charges, while a level 20 wizard has access to 9 maximum charges. If you expend the last charge, the wand deals 4d6 necrotic damage to its wielder. Cost to power. While holding this wand, its wielder may use a bonus action to take 1 point of exhaustion and regain 1d4 plus 2 of the wand's expended charges. This does not increase its maximum allotted charges. Unlock potential. While holding this wand, its wielder gains advantage on saving throws against spells and magical effects. Spells. While holding this wand, you may use an action or reaction for counterspell to expend some of your available charges at the listed costs. To cast one of the following spells with it, you use your own spell save DC for any spells cast with this wand.
Okay. Sorry, I'm going to stop you real quick.
You're good.
So you have, I believe, 3 charges, because 3 is the highest level spell you can cast.
Actually, I think I can only cast 2 because level 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
May I
you have
interrupt real
access.
quick?
Yeah.
Do I need to keep sharing my screen, Sam? Okay. Thank you. I couldn't see
So-
anyone but my screen.
So you have access to 2 charges, champ. So
Okay.
of that spell list, the only ones that are important are the ones that are 2 or less.
Got you. Okay.
And if you expend the last charge, you will take some damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can use a bonus action to recharge it.
Gotcha.
And then just while holding it, whenever someone casts a spell against you, you have advantage against that spell.
That's cool. I dig that. Now, question. Since I'm 9 inches, that's a... How big is this thing?
Luckily for you, magic items, when you attune to them, adjust their size.
That's what I was thinking. Or at least I was hoping. That's cool. I like it.
So as their fairies hand this giant wand to you and you pick it up with 2 hands, it begins to shrink to a 1 or 2 inch length.
Nice. Excellent. I hold it in awe and honor. And then I put it in my belt.
Chump looks up at the Stag King. And what about me, huh? And the Stag King and the fairies and all the animals begin walking back into the forest. So he kicks the dirt. And you guys are left with a brownie and a baby.
All right. Well, we need to figure out the... I'm assuming that you know the way to where the battle is going to be in Nathundra?
Oh, yes. At least the general direction will need.
That sounds good. I don't have very many things that I need to gather. I carry pretty much everything I need usually on my back, or in my belt, so I'm ready to go if you are.
Yes, I think we head north from here.
Very well. Just in the spirit of being expedient and things like that, do you mind if I ride on your shoe?
Shoe or shoulder, whatever you'd like.
Okay, thank you. I scamper up her shoe and then decide better of it and scamper all the way up to her shoulder.
Chump kind of puts his nose in the air. I will not need such assistance.
That's okay. You'll be tired when the fight comes. I will get all the glory. Haha.
It would be best if the elf held the baby, though.
Oh yeah, we cannot forget the baby. Oh, Laura, don't worry. We won't forget you. We know you are the reason for this.
Cut to a perfect close-up that baby does. First worried, and then shrugging. And then not a few minutes later, you hear Chump calling out from behind you guys as he's running. Wait up now. So let's smash cut to that evening. And you guys are gathered around a campfire. And Chump is dragging some twigs that barely add to the fire as he piles them on. Wipes some sweat and goes back into the forest to get more twigs for your campfire. The baby Alora Dannon is asleep in her little vine cot. The crickets are chirping, and Navandra and Champ are sitting by the fire as Chump heaves some more twigs.
Oh, you're doing very well, very well. Yeah, I think we need a little bit more on this side, please.
And he just glares at you, grumbles under his breath as he goes to get more twigs. Stupid prophecy.
I pull up my my wineskin and open the cap and have a little bit and ask Nathandria, would you like to partake a little bit? It may not be very much, but it's powerful stuff.
No, I think I better not. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. That's fine. More for me.
And
So-
in the background, you see Chump like reaching for it, and then you put it away, and he just goes back to his twigs.
So, Nathandria, it seems you've seen a hard time recently. Are you? How are you?
I miss home. I won't lie to you. But I know that none of us will be safe. My parents and the remainder of the people of my village, they're hoping that I return. I know that if I don't, that I ought to be, that my... I know that I can't return until we have made peace in the land. And if that means defending this baby and finding Princess Sorsha, then that's what I'll do.
Well, I will do everything I can to make sure that that is done, including protecting you and the baby, of course.
Thank you, Champ. That means a lot.
I don't have much family. I don't remember my family. I was raised by the Stag King. He's pretty much my father. But I know good people when I see them, and I think you are.
Thank you. I will do my best not to let you down. Live up to your expectations of me.
Yes, I believe you will. Oh, by the way, Alora Dannon says she likes you too. By the way, like, I don't even have any baby speaking powers. I'm just saying that, because I like, he really believes that in his mind. He's a little bit delusional, but he means well.
And of course, cut to perfect take on the baby's reaction.
Well, I need to see if I need to. I'm gonna see what this thing does a little bit. I pull out Sherlindria's wand and just hold it and just start like not like waving it around, but sort of swirling it a little bit in both hands. Just getting a feel for it and just seeing what I can feel from it and everything like that. And just sort of start to get into a little bit of a meditative state, I guess. Just feeling the flow.
And you begin to feel something almost compelling trickling from your toes to your knees to your stomach, and it culminates in the end of the wand. And then you feel someone grab it, and it's Chump, and he's like, "Hey, we need this for the fire."
No, stop, you imbecile! No, I kick him.
And he falls to the ground.
This is the wand that the fairies gave me, you stupid idiot.
I'm not getting any more twigs.
All right. Hey, you want some of these? I hold out my wineskin to him.
Oh, okay. Why don't you make a check for that? A persuasion check. So you'll roll a d20 and add your persuasion to that.
Which is 0 persuasion. Yay. I got an 11.
He looks at you for a long moment, just kind of glaring. And without his eyes stopping glaring or looking at you, he takes it and keeps eyes on you as he takes a chug from it, wipes his mouth. Hands it back to you.
You see, it's a good vintage.
And he looks at you too. Wake me in the morning when we begin our travels again. And Chump will be the one to get the glory.
All right, Chump. Sweet dreams.
And he snuggles into the vine, like outside the casket basket that Alora Dannon's in.
I take one more swig and then put the cap on it, put it around my shoulder, and I sort of nestle up like beside the fire in my blanket. Yes, it feels good. I feel nice and toasty. Oh, hey, do we need to have a watch? Or do you think we'd be safe?
I'll take first watch. I'll wake you in a couple of hours.
Sounds good. Good night. I start to drift off to sleep, I think.
What is Champ's last thought or dream, you think, as you begin to drift off?
I think as he's starting to drift off, he's thinking about how he feels nice and cozy because of the fire and the wine, and he feels like because he hasn't let go of the wand, and he's just holding it in his hand, and it feels warm not hot to the touch, but just nice, comforting warmth in his hand. And he's like, as he's drifting off, his hand is just sort of waving back and forth, like very slowly, like just drifting off and waving the wand gently.
I like it. All right, so Weston, Navandra, as you are left with your thoughts, your quote-unquote companions sleeping next to the fire, you can smell the forest, you can hear its sounds. You look out into the darkness with your elf vision. Go ahead and make a perception check.
It's a total of 21.
Okay. You
Nice.
can hear some rustling from the forest. It's coming from 3 different locations, and you can smell the familiar scent of blood and darkness from death dogs. What would you like to do?
We're still in the forest, so there's trees near or around us, I'm assuming.
Yes.
I am going to quietly sneak over, grab a Lordanen first, obviously. But I'm going to sneak over and try and wake up Champ as well.
Sure, so you wake him up. How do you do that?
Champ.
Wait, such dusty tones. What what's wrong? What's wrong?
Devil dogs.
Oh, no. Here? How
Nearby. We're going to get into the trees. Are you ready?
Yes, hold on 1 second. I put my hand over Chump's mouth, not his nose, but his mouth, and I shake his shoulder and say, "Wake up! Don't scream. We are in danger."
He immediately screams into your mouth like a little girl, like a fraidy cat.
Shut up! We have to have stealth. Come on. I let go of his mouth.
He looks at you two and then nods, understanding.
Should we scamper up the trees?
Yes. As quickly and as quietly as you can. Feel free to get aboard. To climb on me. I'll take us up into the trees.
Okay.
Chump pushes you to the side, Champ, as he tries to scramble up.
Is he climbing up me, or I mean up the tree, or up Nathandria?
Up Navandria.
Is it Nathandria or Nathandra?
Novandra.
I'm so sorry. Novandra. I'm writing that down.
He said, he shoves you to the side, Champ. Her name is Novandra, you imbecile. And climbs up her, pushing you to the ground. You can do a strength check if you want to resist, or you can just let him push you.
Nah, I'm just gonna let him do it. I'll let him have his victory.
So he scampers up a little bit ahead of you as you recover and climb up Novandra, and then Novandra climbs up the tree. Why don't you guys go ahead and do, the both of you, a strength athletics check. You're going to make it up the tree. This is just how quickly you climb up.
Got you. Ooh, natural 20 plus 1.
Oh, okay.
I got a 1.
Okay.
Do they cancel each other out?
I didn't get a natural 1. I got a 2. I rolled a 2 on a -1 score.
So it's kind of hilarious, but Champ and Chump go climbing up you, Navandra, and as you're climbing up, Navandra, you actually accidentally drop the baby, and Champ and Chump grab onto the vines and hold her up just long enough for you to recover, and all four of you make it up the tree. As soon as you do, you see 3 death dogs come leaping into the firelight, chomping at at you guys, and scraggling at the tree as they try to climb it to no avail.
They found us.
Barking.
Okay.
Barking and howling at you. Yeah, they were just about to ambush you guys, but you got away right in time.
Plus, is the fire still up?
The fire is still up, yes. So these 3 dogs are just scratching at the tree bark falling to the ground as they try to leap up at you guys as you are huddled in the tree. What would you like to do?
Are we doing initiative, or we just have it just figure
You
something
guys
out?
you have a couple seconds to figure it out before I roll initiative.
Got you.
If it's
I have I know this thing that I can do that it's gonna freeze them, and they have to if they're not healthy enough, then they are gonna take a lot of as much as 1d6 cold damage, and then they will have they'll be kind of screwed for the next turn. Yeah, I could do something like that, or I could just throw rocks.
either way, seems like a perfectly decent strategy to me. I just know that Nockmar soldiers are probably not too far behind these dogs. If we are going to dispatch them, we better do it quickly. And if we're going to run, we better do it also quickly.
Oh, that's true. Well, I can also do another thing where, as you know, I can change into an animal. I could change into a bird. I don't know how big, if I can carry all of us, but there's that. I can at least carry maybe as a baby and Chump.
Well, if you could carry those 2, I could probably myself.
All right, I think that's probably better. A little flight instead of fight, if you excuse the pun. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use my.
You can roll initiative now as
Okay.
Chump puts one hand on you and he says, I have a plan. I can transform into a bird and I will carry the baby and Champ away. Navandra, you will have to worry about yourself.
Freaking Chump. Yeah, Chump, I think you should turn into a bird, but I'm gonna carry the baby. It's my decision.
I will carry the baby. I know you are too weak to carry the baby. I will carry the baby.
No, you've been walking all day. I just had some rest.
You had too much wine. I understand. I will carry the baby.
Right. I have enough wine that I have the fortitude. So to end the argument, I just change into let's say an eagle, and I grab Alora Dannon and I fly off.
So, what's your initiative roll?
Oh, let's see here. 8.
So I rolled initiative for Chump, and I got a natural 20.
Oh,
So as you transform into a bird. You look over at Chump, and he's transformed into the same eagle that's just 1 inch bigger than you. And he's got the bird, and he's got the baby as well. And the both of you begin flying at first in opposite directions, and then in the same direction, the way you guys are supposed to go.
Oh, fair enough.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to lose these devil dogs in the trees. Staying in the treetops, maybe jumping to the next nearest tree.
Yeah. I love it. Why don't you make an acrobatics check, Nirvandra, as you begin leaping from tree limb to tree limb through the forest, the devil dogs hot on your heels.
13.
13, huh? As you're leaping through the forest, you see one of the devil dogs is trying to leap up into the trees, and you stop hearing from it as you keep running through the forest. So now there's 2 on your tail. Why don't you make another acrobatics check?
Five.
I rolled a 4. So you fall down one of the trees onto the ground and then hurriedly climb up the tree again just as a devil dog snaps its jaws in the place you just were. And over the next few minutes, you are able to follow the bird and evade the death dogs in the darkness behind you as you guys travel through the forest at night. You each take 1 point of exhaustion since you have been traveling all night.
Got you.
So you currently have disadvantage on your ability checks. So if you have to do acrobatics or persuasion or perception checks again, you'll have disadvantage on that roll.
Okay.
And if you're using your D&D Beyond sheet, you might be able to even add it on your sheet there.
Yeah, is
It's
that
under
under hit
conditions.
point? It's under
I
conditions?
think it'll be under conditions.
Okay. Gotcha.
And we have to do a long rest to get rid of the exhaustion.
Correct.
1
As
point. Okay.
morning comes and a sun rises on Anduin, you guys are sweating. At this point, your wild shape would have ended. I think it lasts a number of hours equal to like your druid level, if I'm not mistaken. And so, you would have stayed in bird form for 3 hours. And then
Okay.
by then you're a safe distance from the dogs, but you still have to run through the forest. And you guys come out of the forest and onto a cobblestone road as the sun rises, and you see ahead of you some sort of daikini establishment. It looks to be a tavern.
Hey, we could get some rest and relaxation here. Maybe some beer.
I think we ought to think about it. The trouble might be more than it's worth. Might be safer a mile or so away, in another field or something like that. I don't have a natural distrust of the Daikinis, but with us and Alora Danon, and you two being brownies, me being an elf, I don't think they'll want us around.
That might be true. Although I need to feel my skin. But, yeah, I defer to your knowledge. I think you are wise.
Chump speaks up. Maybe we could stay or hide in the stables, away from the people. I do not want to walk another mile.
Yes, you two stay here for a moment. I'll go scout out to see if I can find a alternative entrance.
That sounds good.
So Navandra walks up. She puts her hood up to cover her ears and her lavender hair, and begins kind of approaching the tavern without, trying to see if there's a basement window or something like that she might be able to sneak everyone through.
Okay. Make your choice of a stealth or deception check as you approach. And if you have any disguise kit or
Nice roll.
Oh, did you see it?
Yeah, it shows up on my D&D Beyond screen.
Oh, awesome. 23, Zach.
23, thank you. I was going to say, maybe I should bring mine up. That's true. So, 23, and did you do stealth or deception?
Oh, it was stealth.
Okay. You do see a basement window. You also see the stables, a front door, a back door. It looks to be a 2-story tavern made of stone and thatch. And it looks to be not very busy. There's a couple of horses, a couple of carriages. You can hear some voices from inside, but it's not like it's packed or anything like that.
How big is this basement?
You can't tell. You just see the basement window right now, but the whole building is like a large home, like a 2-story home.
So Navandra's outside the building looking at this basement window, can hear some commotion around her, but is there anyone that she can see?
You do see a woman in a black cloak, and she's holding a cat, and she's walks into the establishment, and you can hear some voices inside when she opens the door. And there's not really anyone else around. You see a stable boy come out and start picking at some of the hay.
So he's preoccupied, but he can still see me.
Yeah, but no one's really paying any attention to you.
Well, I guess I should at least try and take a look inside the window to see how big the room is. I do have dark vision up to 60 feet, just in case you didn't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll try and take a look into the basement window.
Looking inside, it looks to be a dark, mostly empty storage space, you see a couple of rats across the floor, some bugs, but it's mostly crates and barrels.
Perfect. So Novander will head back and relay this information to Chump and Champ. So I think it might be our best shot for somewhere to lay low for at least a few hours and maybe get...
That sounds good. We could probably use a rest anyway, huh?
Certainly. Probably a good place to pick up any, make sure we have all of the necessaries we'll need for Alora.
Oh, yes. We need little baby nappies and things like that, yeah?
Of course.
All right. Well, yeah, lead the way.
Well, I suggest you both climb aboard, maybe hide in my hood, and I'll take Alora.
Okay, that sounds good.
So holding Alora in her arms, Novandra, and the brownies in her hood, Novandra heads for that cellar window. I'm trying to, try and draw the least amount of attention as possible.
Okay. Do you have any lock-picking tools?
I am a thief, or maybe I haven't actually chose that path yet. Oh no, I chose the thief archetype, so I should have lockpicking. Let me just double check.
Okay.
Nice.
So go ahead and do a dexterity roll, and then we'll add your proficiency bonus to it.
Okay. Wait, you said roll what?
Just dexterity. Just a straight dexterity roll. And then we'll add +2 to the result.
Well then it is a total of 12.
Okay. So you spend a minute at this cellar door window, pick the lock, and you guys are able to make your way inside. Champ, why don't you make a stealth check?
Alrighty. We've got a 12.
All right. So the four of you make it into the basement. You can hear some rats creep around the ground.
Okay. Just cleaning it up.
Clutter. Yeah, they just clutter it up. And they're creeping on the ground as you guys enter. It seems to be quiet in here otherwise.
Now that we're here, I think we ought to kind of hide ourselves from any prying eyes that might enter, workers and such. Maybe we could pry open one of these crates or find an empty one and kind of make it a little room for the four of us.
That sounds like a great plan. I immediately start wandering over, looking, shaking boxes a little bit, not hard, but just gently to see if they're full, see if they're open or...
I see all 9 inches of you trying to shake these large crates, and I just kind of oh, it's all right. I'll allow me if you would.
Oh, by all means.
And all 6, 7 of her 5% body fat is just checking each of these crates to see if they're empty.
You don't find any that are completely empty, but you do find a suitable crate for the purposes you're searching for. You have to take a couple things out of it, some hay and miscellaneous stuff.
Yeah, I try and kind of like hide them behind some of the other the contents, like behind or in other crates, and then the 4 of us hop inside the empty one and kind of like throw the top over us.
Alora Dannon starts whining.
Yeah.
Oh no, what is wrong? I turn to. I don't ask anybody else. I turn to Alora Dannon and say that.
And Chump looks at you. You speak, baby. What is your problem?
I know, that's what I'm trying to ask her, but you interrupt. Shut up. What is wrong, my dear?
So she's whining. You know, babies whine for all sorts of reasons. The 1st one you check is food or soiled.
Yeah. I was gonna say, should I make a perception check to see if like I smell anything or?
No, just tell me what your character does. You smell her.
I sniff in the air, and I look at her in the face, and I tilt my head.
So you guys have taken care of the bebe so far, but you haven't had a chance to feed her adequately since you did your run through the jungle.
Yes. Maybe, do you think there's some food down here?
I mean,
I'll go out and since
am I lactating? I roll for that?
No, you cannot roll for that.
I mean, it's not that uncommon.
True.
Even without having a baby.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Even some dudes lactate. Certainly a very small percentage of men, but it happens.
Would you say 5%? A D20 roll?
It would be, I think it's less than, but I'm a woman, so it's a lot more common for them not to be lactating while impregnated or like raising an infant or toddler. But it is more common than with men, which I think is under 1%.
Yeah.
But I'm a lady elf. So
it's like a similar thing to like men having sympathy pains when their wife or somebody they know that they're close to is pregnant, I'm assuming.
I think for this game we'll skip that.
Okay.
But I appreciate it. You can search for food.
I pop out and start looking around to see if I can find any, like, if it. I don't know if they have a ice house in the cellar here or something like that, but they probably have milk somewhere, I would imagine. I could go to the stable and find a mare and see if I can get some mare's milk.
You pop out and you find what you're looking for, some milk.
Excellent. I do a little taste test to see if it's good.
It's the good shit.
All right, I bring it back, and I pull out a little a clean rag that I have in my knapsack, and I twist it and dip it into the milk and put it towards Alora Dennon's mouth.
All right. So as Champ feeds the baby, and you guys get some sleep in a crate in this cellar of the tavern, we will take a short little break here. So, what will happen to Charlemagne, Champagne, and Navandra? We will have to wait to find out in this little Willow one-off, and the wait will be 2 weeks for the next Ignore the Bird, Follow the River episode drop. I want to thank everyone here who's been listening to this madness. We really appreciate our audience. And if you'd like to talk to us, there should be links to a Discord channel. You can also email us at ignorethebird@nerdcrafty.com. And we've got great episodes up on our nerdcrafty.com if you want to listen to a previous one, like our interview with Alan Varney. I'm Captain Zach, GM for hire. You can see my artist page on nerdcrafty.com. Adam, Weston, it's been a pleasure. Weston, why don't you sign off?
Pleasure playing with y'all. Take care.
Same here. Woohoo!
All right, we'll see what happens next time. See you then, brownies.
This has been a Nerdcrafty podcast.